here's Madame OK, and today I want to invite you on another great painterly adventure. This time we will be using watercolors, as you can see them on the side. We will use brushes, of course, some water and paper towels. Don't forget, the watercolor paper should be attached to the surface with the masking tape. I always like to do it because this way I can achieve this nice edge or frame around my painting. So today I think that we should concentrate on learning how to create atmospheric perspective painting. So for that purpose we will use the landscape image, and we will show how the mountains can recede into the back by using different colors. Okay, so let's start with the first layer or first set of mountains. So remember, mountains have to have this sharp edges. I will create another layer here going into the back. You see it, then there will be maybe another one here, right? And what about placing another one going here? Then we'll leave this section here for the sky, right? So like this. Maybe this is a little bit too even. So what I will do, I will just break it here a little bit, and in this case I have to use my eraser. Make sure that the eraser is not pressed very hard, because when you will do it, well, you can damage the surface of the paper. Okay, so we have 4 layers of mountains, and we have to make sure that the one in the back are very lightly represented, and beautiful sky. So we can start either from the mountains in the front or from the top of our sky. Let's start with the sky. The blue that I will use here on the top will be my cool blue, and I show you here my phthalo blue that I have here. It's quite strong color. So that we go. Now when the less water you use, the stronger the color will appear. And remember that it's happening when you use the watercolors. So I'm making it really strong, but I'm leaving here a little bit of the section open. You see, like this, because when I cover everything right away with the paint, I'm not able there to decide where, for example, which section can be lighter, or even where I can have clouds. So I'm helping myself by simply leaving some white spots. Okay, yeah, see, a little bit stronger there, and certainly, yeah. Well, I like to come with a piece of dry paper towel to make sure that my colors have the light tones. See, like this. I think I will come to my mountains here, and my mountains will have kind of, like, I have 2 sets of watercolors because it's easier for me to work on them. Okay, so I will use a little bit of black, but not a huge amount, and I'm placing a little bit of this black here on the side so that I can blend it with another color. So a little bit of brown as well, but not so much. Okay, so my mountains will come here, and I have to make sure again that the color, especially the one in the front, it's not very unified. It's not just one kind. So you see, I think I have to bring some blue into my black and brown. I can also use just brown and blue, believe me or not, because then the color will be more interesting. It will be not just pure black. You see, it's a quite nice color. Now on the top of my mountains, especially the ones in the front, I still will see, it depends how high they are, right? Maybe I will see some, see a little bit, like a tiny bit maybe indication of the trees. Again, when the mountains are not too high, because when they are high, there's no way you will have trees on the top. There will be just the rocks, pure rocks. Okay, this. And now when I move the color, I have to make sure that it's not covering perfectly with the same tone the entire mountain or hill, whatever that will be, right? So you see here I have one section. I will also apply it, or I put some of my purple here. I'm not so sure if that's what I wanted to do by an accident. See, however, when the accidents happen, I have to embrace them, right? Because I'm a painter, an artist, and artists always find the solution to the problem. So you see, I'm leaving those spots here for now because I don't know what I want to do yet, or how will I resolve this part. Though you can see here, see, this is much cooler than this section here, so I have to find out what to do about it. And again, I'm going back to my blue, see, and that's what I will be bringing here. Now I'm coming here, notice. So we don't want to have white here, that's for sure, but we definitely want to have lighter tones. This is quite warm and brownish. Do we want to have it? Well, who knows? We can always cover the color and cool it down. Remember, we can always do it. But I need to bring some other colors here. Okay, notice those lines, jigsaw lines, very important. What I need now is the other mountain. Now I will go to colors such as purple. And this purple that I will be using here, you see it's very bright. I don't want to have a super bright color, so I will use a little bit of brown mixed with the purple. So as you can see here, I have my brown and my purple color. And those two colors should give me a nice toned down purple. And see, that will be good. Oh yeah. So again, depends in which amount you use brown to purple, you get either brown with hint of purple, or you get purple just slightly toned down. Another solution would be to mix purple with yellow, because remember, those two are complementary pair of colors. So what they do when you mix them, you can neutralize each of those colors with the other one. Okay, and you also get a beautiful neutral color, and often we want to have it because each painting should include some of the neutral colors. Okay, so you see, this is good. Oh, I like it. See, when we use more water, when you let it flow a little bit, then we have less control over what will happen. However, at the same time, the painting can look better because it has this natural look of flow. And then again, with some piece of paper towel, whatever you think it's too much of the paint, or I mean when it's too strong the tone, you can help yourself by using paper towel. So you see, I want to bring a little bit stronger line in this section here. Okay, just a tiny bit, like to almost like divide this mountain into two parts, and that's my intention here. So I want to make sure that they are different. Okay, so a little bit more of it here. Very important, because later on that will be a very important part of our painting, to show how the mountains recede into the space by using atmospheric perspective. Okay, so you see, yeah, that's what we have. It actually looks very nice. Now from there we will move to the color of the third layer of the mountains. I think we can use purple again. I will introduce a little bit of red into it, and I introduce my raspberry color, which was this one here. Okay, so you see, there will be a very different color than this one here, because remember, in the first one, in the second set of mountains, we used color such as two colors. We used purple and we used brown, this color, right, or this color. So that gave us this color. In some places I added touch of black, but not very much, and sometimes I also got mixed up by placing my brush. So instead of going with my brush onto the purple patch, I went into the put my brush into the blue one. Well, that's okay. That maybe even made the mountains looking more interesting in terms of variety of colors in them. So again, the red is coming a little bit higher, blending nicely with my purple. Right, I want to avoid again the line. I don't like lines. It's a painting, It's not the design, it's not the, in design you can think about using lines. In painting, unless this is a stylized painting, that's your intention, this is a different story, but otherwise you don't do that, right? You work with colors, with shapes of colors. And then if your intention is to create volume, then certainly you can also achieve it by colors and introducing some interesting shapes, okay, and getting also the nice tonality. I still think I have to get this color darker. From there, what is happening here, I certainly can get a little bit darker, not as dark though as in the other section. So especially on the top, get darker here for the contrast, you see? And then I can come with my piece of paper towel here, just to make sure that I'm not getting too dark. See, moving it here, and creating those nice edges. Still a little bit more here, because we don't want to have one even block of shape of color. That's boring. We don't want such things, okay? So you can see it's more interesting even now. Yeah, we always look for it. This has actually naturally happened, and I think that's a very nice addition to our painting. So I will keep it. Oh, for sure. I really like the effect. See, I even like here what's happening here. I will try to emulate it as well, like you see here, and then for sure not keeping the line and bringing it down, but not with the jigsaw lines. You see, like this. As the next step would be to work on these mountains here, and this mountains has to be for sure lighter. And I'm thinking about using some of my red, but the red which I want to use, I first of all have to have a very clean brush, and I will go maybe for just purely this color. Oh no, probably not, because this is the last one here. So I will use a little bit of yellow in it. Maybe, yeah, I think so. So you see I'm going for my yellow here. I'm going just on the other side here. And that's what I'm bringing here. Wow, I really like it. Like this combination of colors. Yes, I don't want to bring too much of the yellow over there, because then I can get a little bit too much of the contrast, complementary color contrast between this kind of pale, little bit will neutralized for sure purple, but certainly a little bit more of this color here. See? Oh, they start bleeding into each other. Wow. So you know what I can do? I can even create a different mountain here, and there will be another slope over there. Actually, that will work well. So you see what I'm doing right now is I'm just adjusting the changes on the spot, and that's again very important quality of artists. That's what you do. You are never afraid of changing the things if you think that they will work better. I'll maybe use a little bit of my orange here, and this orange will come, but it's very strong. So I'm thinking about toning it down with a little bit of brown. So you see, just tiny bit, and maybe even with my paper towel, because I just need a hint of it. I don't need to have too much, just a little bit changing my color. I still need to go back. So I'm going with some purple and brown, you see, and I will fix this part here. I have to go a little bit darker here. See, just bringing it here. Just a tiny bit. Okay, fixing the problem, always. Right, like this. So now those sections are looking good, except that I still need a little bit more this color here. See, like this, just by the edges, very important. And then I'm coming with my raspberry color, a little bit more water, especially here, so that the colors nicely come one into another. And I can add a little bit, believe me or not, of purple here, because I want to unify them. With a tiny bit of orange here, so you see, just making it more interesting. Wow, look at this, so much light, but it's really bright. So what do you think? We will tone it down a little bit, right? Good. From there, ladies and gentlemen, we have to move to this section, and I will use, I'll just bring some yellow, but I have to be careful. Next to this mountain, I have to make sure that this yellow will disappear. So this mountain, since I have the purple there, you know what? Which color I can use? I want to experiment with a little bit of green, because green allows me, like the yellow, always will become, it's such a light color that will get contaminated very fast with some other colors, especially when I put the green, right away turns into the green, just more yellowish green. But you see, that's what I will get here. So I want to have it here. You see how nicely those mountains go back? I really love the effect. Now look at this here. I think that was a very good choice. Like this, you see, and then still a little bit more of the green here. Not too much, not too little. There's always this nice balance that we have to achieve, and sometimes we have to really search for it. So this mountain seems to be a little bit too strong. Okay, so what I will do here, let's see. I can put the paper on it, and I just want to have a little bit of it, just a little bit. See, like this, and I certainly have to come here with this combination coming through, like this. Oh, this is strong. Ooh, a little bit strong, but that's okay. We'll fix it in the second. See, like this. Here, it's too strong. Yeah, the color is just too bright. So I do definitely need to change it to another one. It doesn't go harmoniously with the other colors, right? So what I will be looking here, this looks very purplish now. So what I will be doing, I want to show you this trick here. Okay, so you see when I apply yellow on the mountain, it's still purplish, but notice how nicely it changes. So it's not just boring purple, but has so many of those, becomes neutral and becomes more attractive, I call it. Is it possible to say about the mountain that the mountain is attractive? I guess I can. See, as an artist I can do lots of things, even when they sound silly. See, so those colors are coming together. Even here we can introduce a little bit of this beautiful yellow color, because the yellow will not work as a yellow here. We'll just bring some other interesting elements to our painting, and I think we can somehow unify the whole painting with the yellow. So I will bring a little bit of it here as well. See, this is too much to me, so I like to tone it down a little bit. And again, my yellow or even my brown can come here. See, like this. Now I like what is happening there, and now we have to make connection. I think we can still come with a little bit more yellow here. See, in this section, because there has to be, yeah, connection of all the elements. You see, that's good. Okay, now what we are doing with this part, guys? Well, I think we can go with yellow. Look at this. See, those mountains are becoming alive. Okay, and then we go lighter, lighter, lighter there, and I think we want to turn towards the orange. I still don't know what I will do about this section here, but just the same here. I still can work a little bit more here. See, on this section to getting lighter. I think that would be better when this section will be a little bit lighter here on the bottom part. See, so I certainly can switch from one part to another, and you see how easily the paint comes off. Yeah, I mean it's still there, but not in stroke amount. Okay, so I definitely can manipulate with, as long as my painting is wet, and I can do it by adding water, right? So you see, this can look really, really nice. Okay, now this section here, I think I want to come to orange, but I want to have really clean, nice orange here. See, like this. Okay. Not too much again, because when I will have it too much, then the contrast will be too strong. I have to be careful. That is, has to be a nice balance. What I want to bring some of the yellow again onto my orange to slightly intensify it. You see, like this. And I don't want to necessarily blend those colors, but I need to have, or maybe I even will bring it here. You see, to the end. So I will cover this part. I decided consciously, see, that's why I left this part, because I wasn't sure if I want to have it or not. But I think that looks really good this way it is. So I intensify the yellow here. I don't want to have a one kind of yellow, so dark. I want to have a stronger, more luminous and less luminous. So I have to make this decision fast, because I want to already finish this painting and really want to look at this from the point of view of a finished product and decide then if there's need of adding something still here and there. So you see, I'm adding those last touches. I'm still not sure, like you see, about this, guys. I have to give myself a little bit time to think, and in the meantime I'm working on my mountains. So now I definitely want to have my blue. So you see, I'm coming here, I'm bringing it there, and I certainly want to have the blue coming here as well. So you see, like this, mixing those colors and coming more on this side here, making it more intense. See, like this. Yep. Little bit of it here, so again a little bit more of the yellow. Until the painting will be finished, you see, we can't say what will happen. Okay, this is quite nice. A little bit more of it here. You see, and it's coming. You quit, sorry. There's still a little bit more yellow. I like this yellow here. Perfect, guys. So this time I think it's really finished. What do you think? Yeah, I think so. So, have a good day, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the process, that you will be working on your own landscape painting, and see you next time. Bye. I'm doing, I decided that because I have some bleeding spaces here with the watercolors, I extend a little bit the image, especially of the sky here, and I strengthen the top being with very controlled strokes, you see. So going with the brush horizontally and making some of those sections a little bit strong, especially on the top. You see, I can also extend a little bit the paint, and that helps my image to create the depth, you see, because this part is coming in the front and this one is receding back into the space. So again, keeping with my finger here, this section. And that's what you always do with watercolors. You don't need to just finish your painting when you take the masking tape. You can still continue until you get the results that you wanted to get, right? Like for example here, I still can come and add a little bit more of paint. So you see, now I'm happy. So have a good day and bye.